our last movie this week was Nico's pick, and of course that was the 2003 Satoshi Kon film, Tokyo Godfathers.
Yeah, so Tokyo Godfathers is a story of three domicile-impaired individuals who find a baby who's been heartlessly discarded on Christmas Day, no less, and through a series of coincidences and hijinks, they eventually manage to track down the baby's mother, except, hold on a second here, buddy. That isn't the baby's real mom, and she attempts to unalive herself along with the baby, but thanks to the baby being a Christ figure, one final coincidence saves the day, and everyone gathers around holding hands, singing Fahudoris, Fahudoris.
I want to hate your summaries, but, like, I can't sometimes.
Tanner.
Fun fact.
Yeah, what's a fun fact?
When Jin gets beaten up, in the background, the office building windows serve as health bars.
Oh.
Like the lights tick down or shit.
What?
I didn't see that myself, but
That's a fun
I need to
detail.
go back and check that out. That sounds sick as fuck. Hold on, I'm gonna go look that now. Unless you need me to talk about it, since you guys usually have.
go
Yeah,
ahead and
Dylan,
talk
how did you
about
feel about this film?
I thought this movie was actually pretty good. I enjoyed it a pretty decent bit. I went into this, not expecting much, to be completely honest. The art style is a lot like Look Back, oddly enough, even though, you know, despite them being, 21 years apart. But if anything, that serves as a benefit to this movie, because they're movies from seemingly two different eras, and this movie, like, animated the way it is done pretty well. And yes, Jackson, I listened to it in Japanese, I put on the English subtitles, I did all of that just for you, don't you worry your pretty little head about it. But, yeah, I liked how, in almost a nonchalant way, they explored and delved into these characters' backstories, and I like how not all of the characters were super overbearing. I feel like we got enough of them and, like, their characteristics based on their actions that they performed throughout this movie. Obviously, you've got the one dude who's trying to be, like, the father figure, where he's, like, you know, being the brute, and, you know, trying to take care of things, and he's got past knowledge from a child he's had before. You've got this dude who's trying to be a mom, and his only dream was to just be a mom. Not gonna lie, that character actually kind of creeped me out for pretty much the entire movie, except for, like, the last...
We had a feeling they would.
Don't worry, guys, I'm not homophobic. Except for the last, like, I don't know, maybe fourth of this movie.
Calls the transgender character a dude and says that they creeped him out throughout the whole film.
And then obviously you've got the child, which I think is probably the most mysterious out of the bunch. Like, you kind of understand what she's got going on, but it's still a pretty big mystery for the most part. But yeah, I think the movie was fairly well paced. I really enjoyed the animation style. This animation style started to grow on me. It was almost at the point where it was too realistic for me for it to be animation, but also still 2D animation. Yeah, I don't know. I just think the way it was paced, the voice acting was great. I think it was just generally an all-around good movie.
Yeah, dude, I agree. Like, as you're kind of hinting at there, the film is about, like, the human connections that people forge and, like, second chances that they get. And so throughout the film, we do see as these characters end up confronting their past, and through either, like, their compassion or resilience to be able to get through this harsh, scary night, we do see that, like, throughout the night's events, they are able to create these possibilities for ultimately bettering their lives. Like, we see with Gin, the old drunk dude, how he does eventually, like, see the error of his ways through, like, a couple of different characters, like that old man who he finds, just like how that guy's life ended up turning out. We do also see how later he ends up meeting, like, that the dude who was the husband or whatever of the chick who ended up stealing the baby, and, like, how terrible his life is too, and how he's going down the same road that Gin did, and how that's able to help him out to eventually be like, okay, I will, like, reconnect with my daughter and, like, you know, set my life right and all that stuff. I think that all that stuff was very well done. I was a big fan of it.
Anyways, ratings? No. I agree with Nico. I think this is a fun, well-made movie overall. I love how full of life these characters feel. Mm-hmm. They're very well animated. They have a lot of fun facial expressions. There's just a lot of, like, it's just like a fun, well animated movie. Like, there's just a lot of really fun scenes I enjoy. Like, even some, like, basic ones, like the fucking what's his name? Fucking Jin, the homeless guy. They're all homeless. The fucking old dude. Him just, like riding the bike was like really fun. Him fucking like getting off and like fighting against the slippery ground stuff. There's a lot of like really fun little details in this movie. It's just a very fun movie to watch overall. Especially with like picking apart like what's actually like real information and what's not, because a lot of the characters are lying to us throughout a lot of the movie, and we have to like kind of piece things together as it goes along. It's just a fun little movie. There's the biggest criticism probably I have with it is just the massive amount of quinky things that happen with the baby, but they play into that obviously with it being like it's a lucky baby. It's like part of the plot that they do this, but it's still kind of stupid to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very obviously a narrative choice. Like, the film is about, like,
I still don't like it that much.
I know, but, like, the film, it's about, like, these themes of, like, hope and fate and, like, of redemption and shit like that. And so the coincidences tie into it as just, like, you know, the interconnected nature of humanity and the possibility of miracles, especially on Christmas Day, as is done customarily with Christmas films. It gives that film, like, a slight more whimsical and magical quality that you would expect from any of these Christmas films, but they crank it up to a solid 11.
I know, I still just don't like it.
Okay.
I mean, it's not that big of a gripe, but
I wanted to hate the coincidences, but it was so unoffendable, non-offensive. That's the word I meant to use. It was so non-offensive. I kind of, which, you know, I overlook these things normally anyway. But in the case of this movie, they were just so non-offensive. I didn't mind the coincidences that took place.
Dude, I really like this one. I agree. I think it's got deep and well-developed characters, a poignant message that is enhanced by the coincidences, and I think it's interesting seeing a Christmas movie by, a Japanese person.
Yeah, I feel like there really aren't that many of those.
I'd imagine not. It's probably only something that's, I don't even, like... It's a part of their culture, kind of, I know, but that's just because they're, like, borrowing it from us. So it's interesting to see what their sort of take on it is.
Yeah, I mean, Christmas doesn't have the same sort of, like, magic or whatever that does here. It's not about, like, family and that sort of thing. Over there, it's more... They basically, like, flip New Year's and Christmas, where, like, Christmas is more so, like, a fun holiday for, like, friends or, like, your partner and stuff like that, and then New Year's is where, like, you spend time with family and stuff like that.
Interesting, yeah. And yeah, I thought the story was pretty engaging. I just thought this was a delightful little Christmas movie, and I liked it quite a bit.
I did find that minor detail, Tanner, very cool, very interesting. He actually, the funny part about that scene too is he ended up gaining health bar back, I guess, as he like got up to chase after the kids that beat him up, so that was pretty funny to see too.
Oh.
That was his second wind.
Yeah,
it was
that's
his
environmental storytelling.
Round 2,
right there.
fight.
Yeah, another fun little thing about this film is that if you really think about it, it's pretty fucked up, the things that are happening throughout this film. And the film's overall humor that it has throughout it does help to just like give that sort of darker subtext much more... a bit more levity, you know, and it helps to also especially reinforce the bonds that we feel between our three trio here. Our three trio.
Our trio 3
Yeah.
even.
I think if I was to delve into this movie just a little bit more, it would be in that aspect where, yes, this movie can be hard to watch. Nobody wants to watch a movie about homeless people, but I think it's the darker aspect of society that some people aren't, like, willing to accept. And I did think there was like a special thing going on where there's like bond through, you know, struggles and like hardships and all that kinds of stuff. I'm missing my primary point. I already forgot it. God damn it.
I'm sorry to say, Dylan, you missed on this review. Nobody wants to watch a movie about homeless. What is that?
That's exactly what I was thinking. What are you talking about?
That wasn't even going to be my primary like reason for saying anything. I had another point that was better, and I already forgot it. So,
But you still said it.
Damn, I wish I had remembered. It was actually kind of okay. Nope, it's gone. Oh well.
Say la vie.
I suppose so.
Well, boys, as for rankings here, if we have nothing else to say about it, I'm gonna be giving this film an A-. I liked it a whole lot.
I also gave it an A-.
Wow.
Whoa. I liked it more than you guys. I gave it an A+.
Whoa.
Damn, it's really not coming back. This is so sad. I'm gonna remember after it's all said and done. This fucking sucks. Yeah, I also enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Like I said, this kind of art style and all that shit's growing on me. I gave it an A+.
Wow.
Whoa.
There are two wolves in the Guapish podcast.
Jackson, you have to be stopped.
Is this film really good or is it phenomenal? You decide.
Yeah. Yeah, A overall, pretty solid week. An A+, an A, and a D+. You know, those are some pretty killer rankings.
Yeah.